Welcome to Cloud Walker. My name is Indrashish Ghosh. We teach here Amazon Web Services. We help you to achieve AWS certifications, usually asked interview questions and their answers. We do not have any paid offline or online tutorial videos. It is completely free of cost. The whole and sole purpose of these videos is AWS training for beginners and experienced as well.
So let's start with monitoring EC2 monitoring today. Uh, First and the foremost, uh, whatever whatever I will be showing it to you, it's more important for SysOps certification. In If you consider solution architect examination, then you can skip couple of them, but I would recommend, if you have some free time, can you if you can just look into this. This is going to be useful anyways. So let's start. We have two different kind of monitoring system. One is automated and one is manual. What do I mean by automated? Somewhere you don't have to configure. For example, you have these status checks, the couple of status checks. There are two status checks potentially. So this is system status check and instance status check. What we can monitor very basic things. What is the health of this system, and if there is some problem, do let me know in my email. How can we do it? If we click over here, there is something called SNS topic. You can create a SNS topic. What is SNS? It's simple notification. If you create one, you can manually type a type a topic name. So let's type test SNS. That's it. Test SNS status. You can put in an email ID. I can put mine, but then we have to verify it. There will be an email going at your email box. Rest of the most of the things are very obvious. Say, for example, you take a action to stop it when there is a check failure of any one of this, or you can specify that if the status check fails on instance, then stop the instance, and that when if it does twice within a minute, or 5 15 minutes, 1 hour, 6 hours. This is quite self-explanatory. I don't have to explain it because the window is pretty user friendly. AWS has made it awesome to explain this. That's quite good. Now, if you have to do this is only what you can do in EC2 level. I mean, rest whatever you're going to do is in a cloud checker level, CloudWatch level. I'm sorry. By the way, Cloud Checker is a external third-party tool where you can monitor cloud. It's not only AWS. You can monitor AWS, Azure, whatever. But okay, coming back to CloudWatch, there is two different kind of cloud metrics monitoring system. One is basic and one is detailed. Very important for solution architect examination. They really ask it very frequently. Basic monitoring does it in a 5 minutes interval, and enable detail monitoring, and detail monitoring does it in 1 minute interval. It can goes down to 1 minute interval. Do not get confused with the number of metrics. Metrics is completely different. Metrics is the parameters on which you are referring to. For example, you are referring to CPU utilization, disk read operation, disk write operation. These are all the metrics. I will go detail on this metrics, but before we go that, understand clearly that basic and detail is an important difference. I told you before, it's 5 minutes and 1 minute interval, and it basic is free of cost. In detail, you have to give some money. Let us go back to CloudWatch for some time. Here, good amount of time we will spend on this, because when I say monitoring, it is CloudWatch, primarily CloudWatch. So let us start with dashboard. You can create a dashboard of your own. I will go ahead and create it, but I will explain a couple of them before. You can create an event. What is this event is? You can schedule an event and say after 5 minutes write a lambda code over here and call that lambda function over here. You can do certain operations on this. This is very useful, and there are a lot of people uses it. I give you an example, rather a use case. What if I have I have to close a EC2 instance at 6 o'clock every day and do not open it on Saturdays and Sundays because developers don't work on that. So this is the right place to do it. And not only that, you can have a lot of other things running with this create rule. It's kind of rule which creates, and you can directly, if you want to call up a EC2 instance directly, you can call up. For that, you don't have to write the lambda. You only have to write lambda when you are doing something which is not listed out here. So you can reboot a system, you can stop a system, you can terminate an instance. So for example, you are checking that there are a lot of people are coming in and out. A lot of inputs are coming in and out, and you want to terminate certain instance and call it in a different way. Yes, exactly, you can do this from here. Okay, we'll not spend much of time we will you just know as of now that there is a system where you can do this. Coming back to metrics, if you see that there is an instance already running in my system, the one which is there, and this is that EC2 instance which is running right now. So if I go over here and I open up instance metrics and kind of, you know, one of them is got deleted. I was creating a couple of things and I terminated that instance, so that's not a problem. We will see the CPU utilization and say add to graph. Look at what time I have used and how much is the CPU utilization. It is telling me everything out here. It's a metrics which is already available, and you don't have to do anything. That's the reason it is automatic. Now there are a couple of metrics you can also have which you don't have right now. What do I mean by that? Say for example, you want to know this also into this, and you want to know what is the credit balance and CPU credit balance and everything. So if you can see all these clicks, but if you want to know something, what is the RAM utilization, what is the what are the memories in detail of that system out here, this is not listed out here. But for that you have to do manual configuration. But before I go into a manual configuration, or else I would define you how to make a dashboard. So let's, and I will tell you how this detail and custom metrics and already available metrics are different and completely not it is not completely true that you can't get it. You can get the details of it without manual without custom metrics also, but there is some usage. So let us create a dashboard. Now dashboard is really very fancy stuff to do. I can do this, I will do this, but don't waste much of your time, because in an exam it's not that people really ask these questions. But yes, you can always go ahead and do this. Okay, so let's start. We have we will add a couple of those stuffs in the graph, and let's see how does it work. So we will add the, let's say we have a credit balance with CPU utilization. So let's name it credit balance versus CPU utilization. So if you had made this, create wizard, and it's going to be get displayed over here. You can, this way you can create your dashboards. Now if you want to add a different wizard, let's say for example this, and say let me go ahead and see the network in a different tab, in a different wizard. Actually, I want to see the network in and out. Not much of a out though, so maybe network and desktops. Okay, so let's say network versus write-ups. Okay, now just create this. Now see, this way you can create your own dashboard and save it. Now every time you go there, you can say it hourly. It will customize it accordingly. It will say 3 hours, 12 hours. It's going to fetch data which is already stored and create a fancy dashboard for you. A lot of enterprise people are having huge dashboards in their system to work with, and this is really very useful. Now I'm not having a much of um details on automated monitoring system is concerned. I have covered almost everything, but I would like to tell you that in the detail monitoring, when somebody says that you should you cannot have the details of these RAM utilization, there are lot of blogs, lot of channels, or maybe in book also it's written that for custom metrics you have to do these things. Not really very true. Yes, true, not it's not partial, it's partially true. I tell you why. Because you can still get a detail stuff from your instance. So for example, I am running this instance. Can't I get a detail of the system? I can very well get this. So if I say free, look, there is a memory swap, buffer cache available, every quite a bit thing. So there is there are a lot of Linux commands which tells you that yes, you can always get the details of those usage. But if you have a lot of EC2 instances and you want it to get displayed in a dashboard fancy way, do not have the time to monitor each and every stuff, then you need it in a CloudWatch to get monitored. But for one instance you don't need to do this. It's overhead if you do that, because you will write the Perl script, you'll run those Perl script, so it's a time taking, and it's not very visible. So next video I'm going to make on detail monitoring. Do not forget to subscribe, do not forget to like it, and if you think it's useful, please share it. Thank you.